I'm actually recording this video on Thursday, May 22nd at around 5 p.m. because right now there are hundreds of people flocking past our church with smiles on their faces and looking genuinely happy. Because today, for them, is a great day. 8th grade graduation over at Savage Middle School. But do you think that those 8th graders are going to be quite as happy tomorrow at 7 a.m. when they have to wake up and go to school one more time? Do you think they're going to be quite as happy when they get into high school and they have to endure their first finals week? Do you think they'll be as happy when they endure high school breakups or rejection from coaches or rejection letters from colleges, or when something truly tragic happens, like someone they love dies? Well, of course they won't be as happy in those moments, because our happiness so often is completely dependent on our circumstances. But the Bible tells us that our joy is not. The Bible tells us that you and I, Christians, can rejoice always, and in our gospel reading this Sunday, Jesus tells us that our joy can never be taken away. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Thank you so much to everybody who donated toppings for the ice cream social after the preschool program, and everybody who stuck around and made the families who came here feel welcome. It was a blast to worship with everybody and to welcome all of those guests and visitors and watch the preschoolers sing their praises to their Good Shepherd. And to Rebecca Taple, Melissa Hennessy, and Gabby Gaylor, you three who brought the voice of the Good Shepherd to those little lambs over at our preschool, thank you for your years of service and serving God's kingdom here through the preschool. Thank you. This Sunday at 9 a.m. we'll have our normal adult Bible class. We're still going through the book of Galatians, and this Sunday we're going to specifically be talking about why is it so important for us to tell the truth. Our communion service will be at 10 a.m. and then our worship service at 10:30. And finally, our ladies are going to have an opportunity to gather around God's Word and study Miriam Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yes, Jesus says that our joy will never be taken away. But that doesn't mean that we won't experience times of sadness, and depression, and anxiety when tragedies come our way. But it does mean that our joy will never be taken away. And if you ever wonder how that works, look to the front of our church, to the cross, where Jesus actually took the device on which the most tragic and saddest event ever occurred, when the greatest tragedy happened to the man who least deserved it, and turned it into a symbol of joy. Because we know that that tragedy, it was not the end of his story. He rose, he lives, and we know that tragedy will not be the end of our story. Because he lives, we will too, and because he lives, you and I have deep and lasting joy. We're going to talk about all of that on Sunday. I cannot wait to worship with you this weekend. I'm Pastor McKenzie, and that's your Ministry Minute.